Home security is unfortunately a big topic these days, but if you're after a neat, feature-packed solution, then Netgear have you covered with the Arlo Pro. The Arlo Pro is Netgear's high-end, weatherproof and fully wireless camera solution. It's not the cheapest solution, mind, you're looking at around £300 for this single camera version, which comes complete with a base station, but once set up it's a dependable and easy to use addition to your home security system. The Arlo Pro's design is functional and user-friendly, which forms the basis of the Arlo ecosystem, making things easy to use yet feature-rich. It's completely weatherproof too, so can be used outdoors with torrential rain, even snowstorms not causing any problems. With a primarily plastic construction, other than some simple Arlo branding, the camera unit contains a 720p sensor and a wide-angle 130-degree lens, with a built-in motion sensor just below. It does incorporate night vision too, although at its premium price point I would have expected full HD at 1080p, although we'll see how this performs later. Just beneath the lens and motion sensor we find the unit's built-in speaker and microphone used for listening into what's going on, as well as talking back no matter where you are in the world, which is a pretty useful feature alone. Finally, above a sync button on the top we find a button that can be pressed to open the entire rear end of the camera unit, revealing a cavity for the included 2440 mAh battery to be inserted. Considering the camera will spend much of its time switched off, only turning on and recording when motion is detected by the IR sensor, users should find they get several months worth of power from a single full charge. And when it comes to charging, that happens via a single micro USB port covered by a rubber flap on the rear. All in all, it's a rather clean and tidy design. If the white finish isn't to your liking, several silicone skins are available to help disguise the camera, some of which stretch the imagination and are rather creative. For external use, additional mounts can be purchased too, although a magnetic mount included in the box holds the camera rather strong and makes repositioning even smaller mounts seriously easy. The Arlo Pro only works when it's connected to its base station. This uses a dedicated 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi network that only your Arlo cameras can see. Other than some status LEDs and branding on the front and a single button on the top, there's not much more to it. The base station has to be connected to your network with an Ethernet cable, which you'll find in the box alongside the unit's power adapter, also plugging into the rear, after which we can power the unit up. Note that the unit also comes with a super loud alarm that can be triggered under circumstances of your choosing. Each camera you connect to the base station can have different rules set, so not every camera will trigger the alarm if it detects motion. All in all, it's a pretty neat and tidy hardware setup. Some might be disappointed to find there's no SD card storage on the camera itself, which makes sense considering you don't want all your data stored on the camera itself anyway. But the base station does support USB storage. This means that any recordings your Arlo Pro makes can be stored locally as well as in the cloud. It's a neat way of avoiding extra bulk and processing power in the camera itself, and makes the base station feel less of a tacked on extra expense. This also means you might not feel compelled to shell out for an Arlo subscription, which is a nice way of saving some extra cash in the long term. Technical setup can be done through Netgear's app, which is quick and easy, or through a computer connected to the same network. And seriously, the setup could not be any easier, with on-screen instructions guiding you through every step of the process, and within minutes the base station is set up and ready to be used. Connecting camera units is easy too. Tap the sync button on the base station, followed by the same button on the camera unit, and after a few seconds the camera is paired to the base station. Repeat the same process for however many cameras you have, making adding future cameras a breeze. The computer-based interface itself is seriously easy to grasp, with a live view and quick status indicators on the home page, a library tab to view motion-detected recordings stored in the cloud, a tab for selecting the camera's mode of operation, including the ability to set rules such as sounding the super loud alarm or sending you notifications when motion is detected, for example, and a settings tab for making adjustments to your Arlo account as well as with the camera itself. The Netgear smartphone app also includes all the feature-rich options too, in just as easy to use format. We have all the same tabs across the bottom, with the same options within each tab, all very user-friendly and easy to use. You'll first want to head into the low latency mode though, that lets you see a supposedly almost live view of your camera, which I didn't feel was so live, but it makes picking a position and angle for your camera very easy, especially with that magnetic ball mount. Then to ensure its motion detection isn't oversensitive, there's a motion detector testing mode that flashes an LED on the front of the camera as soon as it detects any motion. This then allows you to fine-tune the sort of motion you want to detect. Once you're done with that, it's a case of setting up rules for your camera. You can use geofencing to arm your camera while you're away and disarm it when you're home, or you can use a block scheduling system to change the camera's behaviour. It isn't immediately intuitive and takes some getting used to, but it's certainly one of the more advanced camera scheduling systems out there. In fact, the app is so feature-rich and rather advanced at times, you can often forget where important settings are when you need to quickly change them. So it'll certainly take some learning. Anyway, when it comes to capture quality, despite only packing a 720p sensor, the Arlo's video quality is actually quite usable. The wide angle lens means you're able to see a very large area from pretty much any angle, and the recorded video is well coloured and reasonably sharp. A 20-second clip is around 2 megabytes in size, so not too taxing with your internet connection either. My main complaint is the 2-second or so delay between movement being detected and the recording actually starting. This saves battery of course, but you should bear that in mind when choosing where to place your Arlo Pro. You'll want to have a long line of sight, so if a criminal does enter the frame, they'll be there for a while. Night vision is also very good, ensuring objects are clear and recognisable, well as best as can be expected anyway, easily enough to pick out details on someone's face for instance. As for video storage, if you have fewer than 5 cameras, you can get away with a basic free subscription that nets you 1GB of video storage where recordings last 7 days before expiring. You can download them at any time, so you can keep any highlights or criminal evidence without having to pay a penny. Whereas if you have more camera units and need more storage for longer time periods, the Premier or Elite subscription will be needed. When it comes down to it, the Arlo ecosystem is one of the finest out there for solid home security systems. The Arlo Pro fits into the company's offering very nicely indeed, offering a reliable and long-lasting outdoor camera that won't foul at the first sign of moisture. Along with a good app and great value subscription options, it's an excellent buy. The only thing holding it back is its high cost.